welcome to episode 18.
Okay.
I think we're
18.
giggling because there were shenanigans earlier. Welcome to episode 18 of the Best Day Ever podcast. This is a podcast about our crafting journey
Yep.
and celebrating with you all the reasons why crafting makes for the best day ever. My name is Trish, and I can be found on Instagram and Ravelry as Tie-Dye Diva.
And my name is Arthella, and I can be found on Ravelry and Instagram as Eris Knits.
Yeah.
Yay!
So we are back. We're back to share some making goodness and all the things we've been up to for the past 3 weeks. I'm so excited that I'm actually on this. We are on a schedule.
Yay.
What seems to be a regular schedule every 3 weeks. We're trying to get it to every 2 weeks, but every 3 weeks consistently for the past few episodes. It's been really nice.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So to start out with, what we didn't put in our notes is that for the first time ever, we want to dedicate this particular podcast episode to a very special friend and viewer and maker buddy.
Yes.
So we're dedicating this podcast to Mia.
Hi, Mia.
Hi, Mia. Mia Baker, who is just going through a really, really difficult time right now. So we just want to send out lots and lots of love to you, lots of well wishes to let you know how much we love you, how much we're praying for you, and hoping that things will improve. And just asking the viewers to send lots of prayers and lots of well wishes
Positive
and
vibes.
positive vibes to Mia at this time, because she can really, really use it. So once again, Mia, we love you bits. Here's a big virtual
Yay.
hug, and I'm wearing pink
She's
today.
wearing pink. My
Because
idea.
of you. Yes, it was her idea. pink T-shirt,
Yep.
pink lipstick. Yep, I even put on makeup for you today, Mia. So I hope you enjoy this episode.
Yeah,
And,
so keep knitting, kitten,
Yep, that's right. Keep knitting through life.
with confidence and hope.
Yep.
You'll
so true.
make it through.
Yes, you will.
Mhm.
Yes, you will.
We're there for you.
Yep. Now, your wacky friends will be here for you. For sure.
All of us.
All of us.
Yep.
Yeah. So we got just a little bit of admin to take care of before we get into the episode, and that is announcing the winner for our 1,000 subscriber giveaway. There were 80 comments on the last episode, and I really enjoyed reading through all of the comments about what your favorite making tool is. The one thing you cannot do without. Some really interesting things. But out of those 80 comments, the random number generator chose number 68, and that person is...
Da drum roll.
You wrote it down.
Annetta
Annetta
Rogos.
Rogos? Annetta. I'm pretty sure this is the same Annetta that I met at Rhinebeck just a couple of weeks ago. So should we talk about that now, or should we talk about that in...
You can talk about it now.
Okay, so I went to Rhinebeck.
I
went to Rhinebeck, despite the fact that I said I wasn't going to go to Rhinebeck, despite the fact that my mother told me,
I told her not to go.
don't go to Rhinebeck. Something was pulling me. Long story
The fire
short,
was burning.
I went to Rhinebeck. Ray and I took the drive to Rhinebeck, and it was absolutely wonderful. And we'll insert some pictures probably towards the end of the episode of Rhinebeck. But it was everything everyone else has been saying it was. It was really special. I was only there on Sunday, so a lot of the excitement had died down, but I did get a chance to run into a couple of people. I ran into Gigi, and I ran into, oh my goodness, the Lola Bean. What is her name? Adela. I met Adela of Lola Bean Yarn Company, so that was really nice. Who else did I? So back to Annetta. So I announced on Instagram that I was going to do just a quick meetup by the donuts, of course, because when we got out the car, that's exactly what we did. We went straight to the donut line, which wasn't too bad. And I was just so I could watch to see if anybody was coming up to meet me. So I noticed there was a lady up on the hill, and she kept looking around and looking kind of, frustrated, like she was looking for somebody, but it was nobody I'd never seen before. So we kind of locked eyes and looked at each other. And she did like this, and I did like this. And so I walked over towards. She said, "Are you tie-dye diva? Are you trained?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Oh my goodness, I've been wanting to meet you for so long." And she just goes, "Oh, where's our fella? Is she with you?" Really, really sweet girl. She's originally from Poland, and she's now living in New York with her family. And she's only been knitting for a year. She's a crafter. She says she gets into a lot of crafts, but forgot how she said she got into knitting. But she went to Rhinebeck for the first time last year, and she's just been obsessed ever since. She was wearing a stone crop cardi that she made, only knitting for 1 year.
Wow.
She had on her hand knit socks. She had on the hipster shawl. I mean, she's just all into it. She had this big bag of yarn that she had bought. And just so excited, just bursting with so much energy and joy. And she said she loves the podcast. Absolutely loves the podcast. So when your name was chosen, I felt like it was meant to be. So, Annetta, thank you for watching. Thank you for being so sweet. Thank you for your support.
Thank you.
And you've got a huge prize coming towards you. So you'll get to choose either the sock blank, the Mud Punch sock blank, or this skein of a Plucky Knitter cashmere. I got a feeling which one you're going to choose. The sheep hugger, the yarn bowl. I threw in some soak wash, little packet of soak wash. This t-shirt that was donated by Roz of Roz Knits. That's Roz, it's the R-O-Z. You can find her shop on Etsy where she does t-shirts like this really cute one that says it's all fun and games until your gauge is completely wrong.
Yeah, she has a beautiful sock enamel pin.
Mm-hmm.
And she also offers sock cranking to sock tube cranking service.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Roz, for that generous donation. So you're going to get that. And last but not least, this beautiful project bag made by Arthella. And Arthella's pen, which you can't see now, but it says, "Can't we all just knit along?"
And it's green and it has glitter.
Yeah. I need an orange one. Can we make that happen? Maybe. So, Annetta, thank you again. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to include that.
Oh, that's
We
cute.
can both sign it, yeah. Thank all of you actually for subscribing. All of you for your comments on the prompt question. Like I said, we really enjoyed reading those. Thank you for being here. This is fun, but it's even more fun with you all.
Yeah, knowing you're out there.
Yeah, we appreciate the support very much so.
Okay.
So what are we gonna do? What's on our agenda today?
Well, looks like we have quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll just continue on with what we've been up to.
Yeah. So I talked about Rhinebeck, and it was great. Like I said, the reason we didn't go on Saturday was because we had been invited to an event that we couldn't say no to, and it was actually really, really nice. A good friend of ours put together a fall themed party. So it was kind of perfect to have that as a pre-party to Rhinebeck. So she had everything decorated with fall colors.
Oh, wow.
She had a s'mores table, a huge menu. Her husband Leo is just an amazing cook, and we had chili, chicken, wings of different flavors. There was macaroni and cheese. There was potato salad. There was just homemade ice cream, homemade bread pudding, sweet potato pie. Just so much food, and we got to socialize, and of course there was a bar, so that was nice, and we took lots of pictures and just got to fellowship with some friends, which was really, really nice. So we went there, and then we left at about 8 o'clock, and we got on the road, and we drove about 3 hours to New Jersey. 8 p.m.
Oh, wow.
Stayed till about 8
So you
p.m.
left the party.
Yeah, I left the party at 8 p.m. Got on the road and drove 3 hours to Princeton, New Jersey. Stayed overnight and woke up the next morning and finished up the ride into Rhinebeck.
Oh, fun.
And I drove into Rhinebeck, so my secret is out. That I'm capable of driving
Oh my
more
gosh.
than 30 minutes. So yeah, so that was good. No hiccups along the way. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I'm really glad I went, and I may have picked up a few things
Was sweater weather?
while I was there. It was sweater. It was actually coat weather. It wasn't overwhelmingly cold, but Sunday it rained. It was like a little drizzly rain to heavy at times. So, but while it was raining, I was on the inside barns, so it kind of worked out. And Ray was in a food barn
Mm-hmm.
that kept him company for quite a while.
And what did you
So
wear?
I wore my Novelli tee.
Oh, did
I
you?
wore, and I didn't style it the way I wanted. Had intended to style it. I just had it on with a long sleeve, really thin t-shirt
Mm-hmm.
and some jeans and some little ankle boots.
Cute.
Yep, I think that was cute. I'll insert a picture here. I'll let you be the judge. So yeah, but oh, some beautiful sweaters. I saw some amazing sweaters. Yeah. So yeah,
That was
that's,
Rhinebeck.
that's what I've been up to. Work has been ridiculously crazy, but I just got finished with our conference, and everything went well. And now I'm kind of looking forward to work returning back to busy still, but a little bit more normal.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so my Rhinebeck weekend was spent with the Knitters. Our knitting group, we named the Knitters
With a
a
Z.
Z. We're all from the DMV, DC, Maryland, and Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
So we got together for a little retreat down in Williamsburg, Virginia. So that was nice. There were about, what, I think 12 of us.
Mm.
And we did some natural yarn dyeing. Wanda has become one of two natural hand dyers within the group. So she did a demo on yarn dyeing, natural yarn dyeing. I did punch needle. We made, we can insert a picture, but our little project was a pumpkin. It was really
okay.
cute. It was enjoyable. What else did we do? We just hung out. We relaxed a whole lot. Um, we had lunch, a really nice lunch. I can't remember the name of the restaurant. And of course, we visited two yarn shops.
Of course.
There's Yarn Matters, which was awesome. They were having some pop-ups too. So
okay. Nice.
you'll see in the acquisition some of the things that I picked up there. And then
Did you
what's
meet the
name?
owner?
Yes, the owner
She's
was
really
there.
sweet.
Yeah, and she's a
Yeah.
yarn dyer.
I didn't know that.
Oh my gosh, yes, you'll see.
Wow. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, she's a yarn dyer.
Really nice.
And her yarn husband, he is like super excited about yarn. So that was
so
fun to meet
nice.
them. And then the name of the second shop. Why is it escaping
That
me?
Flying Needles?
Flying Needles,
Mhm.
yes.
I love that shop.
Yeah, so we visited that yarn shop as well. And spent, the rest of the time just, fellowshipping and just laughing and just, enjoying one another. So that was our Rhinebeck weekend, and I call it Williams Beck.
Ah, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Cool.
So you've
Okay.
been,
I've
you
been
went
really.
to a few other spots too.
Did I?
Yeah, what about Frederick?
Oh, right. I did. So there was another yarn festival. Actually, a couple of days after we last recorded, or was it the very next day?
It was the next day.
Frederick Fiber Festival was amazing. Got to connect and meet up with quite a few people there, including a former coworker who is now making project bags for a living.
Yes.
And we'll show you a few of those coming up in acquisitions. Got to meet Terry of at Haynes House Yarns. She and her husband got to chat with them for a while.
Hi, Terry
Hey.
and Brian.
And they were delightful. Magpie Fibers was there. That was a surprise
Ooh.
to me. Yeah, yeah. And so I got some magpie, which is my first magpie,
Is
believe it
it?
or not. So that was fun. Um, what else have I done? I don't.
Well, you talked about work,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, you just been all over the
Yeah,
place.
I've just been all over the place. Yep, and this whole body is holding up. I was worried that I was doing a bit too much, but I paced myself.
You did.
Paced myself, and I'm learning. You know, when I'm tired, to just chill, just
That's
chill
what
and
I was
rest.
concerned about.
Even today, you know, I didn't go to the conference. My work was done, so I just, you know, I chose today as a work at home day as usual, and because there was really no need for me to be there, and so that's I'm proud of myself for stepping back and you know doing the reasonable thing.
Good.
Yep. So all is well. All is well. So are we ready to get into some of our finished objects? Did we
Let's
cover it
get
all? Let's
into
get
it.
into. So we'll do finished objects first. Then we'll do our whips, and then we'll do some quilting. You've got some quilting to talk
I have
about,
a
don't you?
quilting whip.
She has a quilting whip. I have a couple of quilting finished objects that I sent off, but I'll insert pictures of that. And then we have some acquisitions.
Dream making.
Definitely some dream making. And
What's around the
what's
corner?
around the corner.
So let's squeeze in what we're wearing real
Okay,
quick.
cool. You go first.
Okay, so I'm wearing the cabled pullover by Nora Gone.
It's gorgeous.
And this is knit up in Barocco Remix,
I love
which
that
is washable.
yarn.
I pulled this, I washed this morning
Really?
and dried the
Oh my
sweater
goodness. In
and the
the
top this
dryer?
morning. So I washed it in the machine
Wow.
and tossed the sweater, the top, and jeans in the dryer and dried all this together. This
That's
yarn
amazing.
is amazing.
It's pretty
I
amazing.
love it.
I have a sweater made out of that too.
And you can
also.
wear it in all seasons, the Barocco Remix. So what I did with the sweater, of course, I made short sleeve, and then the sweater was designed with a turtleneck. So I just left off the turtleneck.
Okay.
And
Cool.
you can't see it, but it's like tunic length, and it's like your favorite sweatshirt. I
Yeah.
love it, and I said
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it again. I think Wanda made one, the same modifications.
So
think she
you said
loves hers.
you didn't do the turtleneck. So did you pick up and knit for the ribbing for the collar?
No, so it's bottom up. That was the other. The sweater
Oh.
was knit bottom up, so you know you
Nice.
get up
Okay.
to the yoke, and you know I added the sleeves, and then I went from there. So I just omitted the turtleneck.
It's beautiful.
I love this sweater. It's one of my favorites. And of course, it's in my favorite color, green. And this is like a spring green.
It's got some like flecks of yellow,
Yeah.
which is really
I
pretty.
love this yarn.
It's
I'm gonna,
yeah, I think we need
yeah.
to maybe consider.
we need to acquire
I think so.
another colorway.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's what I'm wearing.
Awesome. So I'm wearing the modern wrapper. It's a Church Mouse Yarns pattern. And let me just show you the picture because it's kind of hard to describe. I would say if I had to describe it, it is a boxy style cardigan with drop sleeves. And
It's really cute.
there you go.
I love that.
So it's quite oversized. Excuse me. As you can see, it comes all the way, I would say mid-thigh, so it's pretty long. It's just a cozy hug
you
is what
made
it is. I'm so glad I made it.
You
Yes,
even cuffed
I
up
am.
your
Yeah, I cuffed up. The
sleeves.
sleeves are
So
quite
cute.
long, you know, so you can, get away with it. It's like a nice coat. It's large enough to even put a sweater on underneath it. So
You know I
the
have one on
sleeves
needles.
I know you do.
When will I finish it?
And it knits up really quick, even though it's a pretty large
so.
garment. But I think it's on a size 10 needles.
Yeah.
On a
at least
size 10 needle. So the yarn I used was Brooklyn Tweed Loft, which is a fingering weight, held with a drops mohair silk. So you hold those together, and I don't know whether you can see the halo and It's just so cozy and wonderful. It's an
pretty.
interesting construction. There's a lot of putting stitches on hold and picking them back up. And I think at one point I had about four places in a sweater where stitches were on hold. So I kept running out of needles, but it was fun. It was fun. It was a one of those relaxing knits because it's just a lot of stockinette stitch, but very well written. It's probably one of the more expensive patterns I've ever purchased, like $10.
Yeah, their patterns.
Yeah,
But they're worth it.
It was worth it. Very well written, and I love it, love it, love it, love it. I've worn this a lot. I've kind of like lived in this the past few days because it's definitely fall has arrived in DC in
It's
full
weather
effect.
weather.
It's really bright and sunny today, but it's a good chill,
Yes,
which
it's
is
crisp.
really really nice,
Really
quite
crisp.
crisp. Mm-hmm.
Love that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm wearing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's move on to finished objects.
Okay.
You go first.
Okay, my first finished object is a pair of socks. We have so much stuff around here. I forgot where I put them. So I've definitely showed these on a podcast before. I've been working on these for way longer than I should have. These are the ones I was doing it 2 at a time.
Right.
Magic
Oh,
loop.
yeah, look.
Mm-hmm. So let me put one on the blocker. I haven't blocked them yet because these new to me sock blocker, this new to me sock blocker just arrived yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Oh
You've
my
been
goodness,
waiting
I can't even think of
to block your
who did I
socks.
order these from? On Etsy. Oh, Trish, girl. Hip Strings Studio. I just went online looking for small sock blockers because these are for my niece with her tiny, tiny foot, and I knew my medium size would stretch them out, and I didn't want to do that. But I thought I was ordering two. I thought I was ordering a set of two. It's one
She's
each.
a single.
So, right.
It's a single.
So I ordered the other one yesterday. But anyway, just a basic top-down cuff with the afterthought heel. And this is the Regia sock yarn by Arnie and Carlos.
Love that.
Look how cute they are. They're
They're
so
too
tiny.
cute.
They're so tiny. She's going to be so excited to get these. I like the extra long cuff there with the 1x1 ribbing. And yeah, nothing earth-shattering about these. I have officially decided I do not like 2 at a time. It's just too fiddly. I don't know whether I'm just
It's
old
very fiddly.
and I've been set in my ways for too long. What I had was working just fine. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I tried it, didn't
But you
like
did
it. So I will be going back to my 1 at a time magic loop. Yeah.
So you don't feel like you gained anything?
No, not
you
really.
Still have to knit them
Yeah,
both.
yeah, I think you do, and then you have to. There's some yarn management involved
Right.
with 2 at a time. So, yeah, not for me, but happy to have these off the needles nonetheless.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Finished object. My first finished object, and you can see freshly finished. I haven't woven in this in, but this is the Shift Along hat
Oh my
by
goodness.
Andrea Mowry.
I love that so much.
And this was knit up using Woolfolk 10
Mm-hmm.
and Spin Cycle dyed in the wool.
Mm-hmm. It's really
And
pretty.
it's very subtle, but
It's
I
definitely
love
a
the way it
gradient
turned
thing
out.
going on.
Yeah,
for sure.
you can see it, but
Is there some green in there?
yeah, there's some
Oh,
green,
yes.
gray.
I had to put my glasses on to really.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's really
So this is basically just like the shift cowl and
yes,
the shawl.
and yeah, and the sweater,
Oh
same.
yeah, look at that green. That
Slip
is-
stitches.
It's so soft.
Yeah, that 10 is really.
Is this for you?
Yes, it's for me.
Goodness.
It's gonna match a sweater
Mm-hmm.
that I used the dyed in the wool
Which sweater?
with. The is it Buds and Branches or Branches and Buds?
Yes. Oh yes.
I did the color work in the
Mhm.
same
That's really pretty.
colorway.
Congratulations
that'll go
on finishing
really
that.
nice
That's
together.
beautiful.
I finished that hat so fast.
I think I'm gonna have to put
It's
that in my queue
really
for sure.
a quick knit,
Very nice.
very quick.
Very nice.
Yep.
Okay, so my next whip my next and final, because I only had two,
Oh,
is also
wow.
a hat. So this is the. Can you hold that?
Yes.
While I.
Yeah,
Oh,
I can
here it
hold it, sure.
So that's a Joji Locatelli
Oh, wow.
beanie. It's called the Rafa's hat. Hold tight. Let me.
I want this.
I know you do. As Mia would say, what is that?
What?
So it's Rafa's hat, and beautiful hat. Model's not too bad either.
Oh, it's kind of cute, isn't
Yeah,
it?
he is. So it is basically ribbing, 1x1 ribbing all the way. So if you hate ribbing, this pattern
one by
is not
one?
for you.
I
Yeah,
like
love
one
ribbing.
by
I
one.
do. I really do.
You get into a little rhythm with it,
Yeah.
and
And each section is separated by this row here.
Garter- is that a garter row?
I believe it's a purl row.
it's a pearl row.
Mhm.
Yes,
I believe it's
just
a
one pearl row.
Just one pearl row.
Okay.
One pearl row, and you know how she does, very well written. It's pretty straightforward.
And what's going on in the crown?
The crown has the decreases so that you still maintain the ribbing. And it was fun, so fun. So the yarn I use for that is Cascade 220. I forgot the color. It's a blue, as you can see. But I bought this from a yarn shop in Annapolis, Maryland. I cannot think of the name. Woolbinders? Maybe?
Yarn Garden
Mhm.
in Annapolis
Mhm.
recently.
No, maybe about a couple of years ago.
Oh,
Because Ray said he wanted a gray and a blue scarf. So I bought a blue skein and I bought a gray skein. Then I brought it home. He said, no, I don't like that blue because it's too much like the Dallas Cowboys blue.
oh yeah, with the gray.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
So he was like, so I was like, oh boy. So then a very good friend of ours who's very knitworthy has been asking for a hat. He has one of my hats that I've already made for him. He wore it to death, and then he put it in the machine,
Oh, gee.
but he didn't know that it was a non-superwashable. It was Brooklyn tweed. What's the worsted one called?
Shelter.
Shelter. It was a hat knitted shelter. And I'm gonna tell you how knitworthy he is. So I went to my place of worship one evening. It was dead of winter, and I had this big basket of hand knits stuff, I had made and wasn't wearing anymore. So I said, I'm just gonna give it away. So of course everybody was so excited. Yeah, I'll take this. Give me that. I'll take that. So everything was gone, and he grabbed whatever hat he saw, which happened to be a woman's hat with a It was like the stitch was like a butterfly stitch. So it was very feminine, but he loved that hat
Wow.
to death. So that makes him very knitworthy. He didn't care. Just the fact that I made it and it was warm was good enough for him because he's bald.
Has this one been washed yet?
That one hasn't been blocked.
That's
I'm
nice.
thinking I should to loosen it up
I'd
a
like to
bit.
make this for myself.
But yep, so that's a gift for Tony. I think he's gonna really, really love it.
He will.
Keep him nice and warm this winter. Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Alrighty.
So that's it for me. So,
Oh, gee.
Yep, it's your show.
The Arthella finished object
Yep, I can
show.
work on my sock while you're.
Okay. So my next finished object is my Felix Cardigan.
Oh my goodness.
If you don't already know, I love the Felix pattern.
What is
I
that? Your
have
like
3.
20th?
I have 3 pullovers, and this is my first cardigan.
It's so pretty. Look at that yarn.
This is the and this is not a good picture. Of course, we'll insert a picture. Oh, but it's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
The color and all.
Oh man.
This is the Noro Silk Garden Solo. Solo meaning, just a solid color. And
with the exception of the speckles.
yeah, so it has, looks more speckled.
Look at that black spot right
Yes.
there. That is beautiful.
And look what I did, y'all.
What did you
I
do?
crocheted the buttons.
What?
I crocheted the
Yes,
buttons.
you did. How do you do that?
I made like little crochet buttons. I am
I
so
love
happy
it.
about that.
This smells so good. What is that?
That's the what tough wood?
Is that tough? What
Yes.
scent is that?
Is it night sky? I want to maybe say night sky,
Oh my goodness, smells so good.
but yeah, we'll
These
insert a
are
picture.
Amazing.
maybe.
Look at that.
Yeah. Let's see. I
Oh, this is good. This
searched
is so
for.
good.
I found a pattern on Ravelry
Oh,
for
really?
crochet buttons. Yes.
They're really substantial too.
Yeah, we'll put a link, and of course you can make them, whatever size you want.
They're beautiful.
Yeah.
I love this yarn. Is amazing. If you guys have not knit the Felix, do it. It goes so quickly, and it's
It's
perfect
an easy knit.
first
Maybe
sweater
that'll be
pattern.
our knit along.
Oh,
That
we
could
were
be one of
talking
our knit
about
alongs.
doing our first knit along. Maybe the Felix cardigan would be our first knit along.
That could work.
Or pullover, either one.
Yeah, it could be the pullover or the cardigan.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Okay, cool.
Okay, details to come. Maybe in the new year.
In the new year.
Okay.
Okay, so then let's see. My next one is what's this called?
Comfort fade.
Comfort Fade.
Oh,
And again, not a good picture, but I'm finished.
I'm never gonna work on this side because I'm too distracted. Oh my God,
Let's see if
so
we can
pretty.
get it up. At least a little presentable. But yes, I'm finished.
It's beautiful. You talked about making it long. You didn't make it longer. You
Well,
kept
I was
pretty.
cropping it,
Uh-huh.
but I guess I had knit past the crop,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
not as long as the pattern called for. But I'm finished.
It's beautiful.
Yay!
It's
And
so
this is
pretty.
a combination of less traveled yarn
That's a new to me, darling.
and I forgot. Sorry.
That's okay.
We'll let you know.
It's
but it was a
really
kit.
pretty. Look at that collar. Look at the fade on the collar. Oh, it was a kit.
I started with a kit.
Okay.
Remember on my way back from Rhinebeck
Yes.
2017, we stopped at Do You Knit and picked up the kit. Primrose
Yes.
yarn was a kit. And then Rhinebeck last year I did not attend, but there were pop-ups in our area and I picked up and met less traveled yarns at one of our local yarn shops, Knit Locally in Gaithersburg.
That's so pretty.
It turned out really
that's
nice.
the hem.
I wore it in Williamsbeck.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful. It smells good too.
Thank you. And then last but
such
not
as a-
least, where's my hat?
Which one? The
The Harlow.
she's missing. The Harlow touched.
The Harlow is out enjoying the weather. I
I
don't know
want
where
to see her. Where'd
is.
she go?
Where
Oh
is
my goodness,
she?
Lord. This is a first. Oh my God. Talk about finished objects. What about
I
missing
know.
objects?
Missing.
Missing objects.
Where did she go? I'm gonna look up. Get up
Okay,
real quick.
carry on. Too bad I don't have another one to show because
Oh, here she is on the floor
on the
between
floor.
us.
Lord.
Oh.
Hey, while you're up, can you hand me that? One of my whips are up on the couch over there.
Whips?
And don't no peeking.
Okay.
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 Very nice. Very nice.
All right. So this is a Andrea
That
Mowry
is so pretty.
finished object
Oh my goodness.
for me. This is the Harlow.
That is so pretty.
And this again is spin cycle dyed in the wool. And then
Which is a fingering weight, correct?
sport
Sport fingering. Okay. Oh, that is so.
with plucky cashmere in the
That is
sticky
something
toffee colorway.
special. That is something
it is
special.
so nice and yummy.
Oh. It
Isn't it?
is. It
It
is.
is.
Oh, that is so pretty.
Yeah, it turned out
love
really
it.
nice.
It feels so good. Oh my good. Congratulations. I know
Thank
this is for
you.
you.
Oh yes.
Is this your first brioche hat?
My first finished brioche hat.
How are
Yeah.
the decreases and
perfect.
Really?
Yeah,
No problems?
no problem at all.
Oh, I love, look at that. Look at that dark portion.
Yeah, isn't
Look
that pretty?
at that. Oh, very nice.
I will definitely
love
make
it.
that again.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I purchased some yarn for that.
You did?
Yeah, I want to make that
Cool.
soon.
All right, so that's it for
Okay.
finished objects.
Okay, well let's
Wow,
move
that's
on
4
into
finished
That's
objects.
amazing.
Yay!
That's pretty impressive.
That is. I have been working.
Especially
It
considering
seems
that
like,
two are sweaters. That's pretty awesome.
yeah, you know, you're just knitting along, and
Mhm.
it's like, when am I going to finish anything? Well, I guess like me, because I have startitis, so
Mhm.
like the one hat I just cast on out of the blue, and I just knit until I
Something has to get finished. It was
yes, at some point
At some point.
it does.
Cool. Okay, so we're going into whips.
Whips.
Okay, so my first whip are a pair of socks, and the name of this pattern is Heel Toe Do Si Do,
What?
and it's by Kay Litton, who's also better known as the Crazy Sock Lady from the Crazy Sock Lady
Yay.
podcast.
Hi.
Hey Kay.
Hey Kay.
And this pattern was gifted to me by Aquila.
Hi Aquila.
Hi, Aquila from the is it Aquila Don podcast?
Yes.
So definitely check out her podcast. She's producing some beautiful, beautiful things. And I believe she's Aquila Dahan on Instagram also.
Yep.
So she's a podcast viewer, and she gifted both Othello and I a
She
pattern.
sure did.
So this is the pattern she gifted me, and because she heard me say I wanted to knit one of Kay's sock patterns, and so for me this is a first because I never saw the need of knitting a pattern sock, especially if you have self striping. Because I mean, just let the beautiful yarn do the work. But now I totally get it. I totally get it. Look at that.
It's beautiful.
It's so pretty, so much fun. It is a 4-row repeat. I was able to memorize it. Even me and my brain was able to memorize it very quickly, and I'm really excited. So the pattern, I believe, has you do a gusset heel, but I'm going to do my standard afterthought heel on these. And this one's calling me. Yeah, that's it. 1x1 heel on a US 1.5 needle. Oh, the yarn, not Desert Vista Dye Works. This is we were just talking about this from the Just Dessert Sock Club.
Gee, I'm sorry. Drawing a blank.
This is what happens to podcasters over 50.
We are excited and
Yeah,
tend to
we-
forget a thing
Oh
or
my
two.
goodness. Let me see if I could look this up real quick. Okay, so I'm also trying to figure out how to use this MacBook.
Can
Oh
we
my
just
goodness.
put it across the screen?
I can just put it across the screen. I feel so bad. It's going to come to me. I'm just going to shout it out in the middle of something else. But yeah, so working on that. Yeah, because I threw away
You don't
the.
have your label in there.
No, I don't have my label. I'm just so ill prepared.
Oh, and what I noticed is they're cuffed down.
Yes, they're
That's-
cuffed down. That's also a first. I've been doing a lot of my socks here lately have been cuffed down. But I will be doing the heel with this contrasting skein that came with the sock yarn.
It did?
Mhm.
That came with
That came with it. Mhm.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So for the Just Desserts Club, you get the skein of yarn and the contrasting.
Well, when you say club,
She opened up spots in a club called Just Desserts a few months
was it
back.
a single, was it more than one skein?
So you get
Or-
one every other month.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Was this your first one?
This is my second
Oh,
or
wow.
third. So
Mhm.
this is Carrot Cake is the colorway of this. Very fallish.
That's pretty.
She was at Needles Up. Oh boy, it'll come to me. It
You
will
mean
come
Lisa?
to me. Yes,
Lisa of Fiber Nymph Dye
that
Works.
Fiber Nymph Dye Works.
Mhm.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
And this is hanging out in my cute little sheepy bag by Tech Muse RAC, which stands for Random Acts of Creativity. And I got this at a Fibronate event a couple of years ago.
That's pretty.
Love it, love it, love it. Yep. So that's another pair of socks on the needles. That's going quite well. Really enjoying those.
So that's whips.
Mhm.
Okay. I have several whips.
Okay.
However, I just brought one,
Oh, okay.
and I'm just continuing to knit along.
Pretty, aren't they?
I'm hoping the goal will be to reach my point of dividing for the sleeves. But this is the Magnolia chunky cardigan. Knitting
Feels
up
so good.
lovely
Yes,
in
it is.
Neighborhood Fiber Company Studio Chunky and Madeline Tosh Impression.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This feels so thick and cozy. Almost like jacket weight.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
It is.
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Look at that color.
Yeah. So I hope to.
And so this is top down, but it's more like a yoke construction
Yes.
as opposed to raglan.
Yes.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Speaking of Madeline Tosh, big news with Madeline Tosh
Madeline
this week.
Tosh. Wow.
So Jimmy Bean's wool apparently bought. Did they buy it, or are they just working with her?
I believe they acquired it.
They acquired Madeline Tosh yarn. So exciting things are on the horizon for Jimmy Bean's and Madeline Tosh.
And Madeline Tosh.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. Really cool. Okay, so my next whip, I showed on the last podcast, but I've made quite a bit of progress on it. So this is the Flex Pullover by Tin Can Knits, and this is a sweater I'm making for my husband Ray. And this is how far I've gotten. I hadn't even separated for the sleeves the last time. And so I'm basically modifying it to do some pretty wide striping on the body. I got this idea on Pinterest.
Has he seen it?
Yeah, he loves it.
He loves it.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
He loves it. I just did a quick. I measured it up against a sweater he really, really likes that fits really well. So that's kind of how I gauged my size. And I put it up against him last night, and he really, really, it seems like it's going to fit really well.
You're gonna stripe it all the way down to the cuff?
That's
or-
what I'm trying to decide. I don't know if because this is the white that I'm working with now, this cream color. So I'm trying to decide if I want to just finish my stripes, because these are the colors. I'm not going to introduce a fourth color. So I might just go with the dark charcoal all the way to the end. And he wants to make sure that he says, so it's not just going to drop right, it's going to like gather. He wants to make sure it's red.
have some waist shaping.
Yes, he wants some waist
He wants
shaping.
some waist shaping.
So as you know, the Flex cardigan has this really cool garter stitch detail on the sleeve, which is really nice. The yarn I'm using is Let Lopi. I have no idea what these colors are, but my husband loves color, not afraid of color whatsoever. So I think this is going to work out really, really well. Yeah, I got to get this finished. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I can get this done. So I'm really, really enjoying that, enjoying the whole process. I did a lot of that on the way to New Jersey the week we went to Rhinebeck. So those are the colors. So that's about it for that. Really
That's
enjoying it.
exciting.
It is exciting. It is very exciting. Yeah.
This will be his first
His
sweater.
first handed sweater. So of course now Armani, our son, is like, he's in his feelings. Am I going to get one too?
Yes,
We'll see.
he will.
We'll see. Yeah. Okay, what you got next?
Any more knitting?
Oh, whips. Oh, you don't. That was your last one. Okay, so I have one more whip I want to share. I think just one more. Yeah, just one more I want to share. This actually is also something that I showed a while back. Maybe even it's probably been a year. But I was working on it and life happened and it just kind of got away from me. But this is called the Puntilla sweater. It's also a Hohi Locatelli pattern. It's a boxy style pullover. So I'm pretty much done with the body and one sleeve, and I've worked my way into the second sleeve. This is going to hit me at the top of my hip, I would say. And the great thing about this pattern is that it's going to be finished off with a contrasting lace border on the bottom of the sweater, as well as on the end of the sleeve. So I'll have to pick up.
So it'll come from under?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I'm going to pick up at the end of the sleeve. The sleeve is going to have the lace border on it, as well as the bottom. And I cannot
What's
wait.
this bind on?
It's super stretchy.
It's pretty.
Isn't it pretty?
Yeah. So what's your contrasting color?
So my contrasting color, and the yarn is Plucky Knitter.
Of course.
Primo Fingering, which is a merino cashmere blend. It's super yummy. Super yummy. And this is going to be my contrast for the lace.
That's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And you're almost
So
finished.
I'm almost finished. I needed some mindless knitting this week while I was super busy at work, and this fit the bill. And I really want this sweater off the needles because I cannot wait. It fits amazingly well, so I'm really excited about that. And this is hanging out in my, what do we call this? French Supply. Really
It's
nice
the-
bag.
It's the
Town bag?
field tote,
Field tote.
I believe.
Field tote in the black.
Town field tote.
We know it's by French Supply.
It's French Supply.
That's for sure. I tell you, getting old is not for sissies, as they say.
I'm enjoying it.
I am. I am too.
It's
Has its
great.
advantages.
It does.
Yeah, I feel like I'm definitely more
Town bag.
town bag.
Town bag.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. So what was I
Alrighty.
saying about getting older? More confident, more.
More.
Yeah, you just say what's on your
More.
mind. You just.
It's good.
It's good. It's all good in a good way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Any
I
more
think that's
knitting
it
whips?
for. That's it for. I have some more, but I'll reserve those for next time.
Okay. So the next whip for me would be a quilting.
Okay, cool. Let me see what you got.
Quilting whip. So Trish has shared some of her quilting, but I had not, and I have been quilting. So I pulled out one of my whips I had started
Those are
a
beautiful.
little while ago, but it's called the Disappearing 9-patch block.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't know if I mentioned before, but I really like working with pre-cuts.
Mm-hmm.
The squares are already cut, and then I
Yeah.
can just fine tune the cut.
It's not cheating. It's not cheating
not
if you
cheating.
buy the pre-cuts.
No,
Yeah.
it's not cheating.
That cutting
Because
out
my
is, whew.
first quilt, I used the charm pack, which is the 5-inch square pack, and you usually get about 42 squares in a pack. And my first quilt, I did half square triangles. So I cut the 5-inch square and made half square triangles, and I enjoy quilting that way. So this time I'm using the 5-inch squares in this 9, what did I say, 9 patch, disappearing 9 patch. So you start with a pack of squares, and then you seam together 3. Ooh, that's not a good one to show because it doesn't have much
That's pretty,
contrast. So you seam together rows of 3, which make the 9. Okay, so you got that? You have 9.
Got it.
Then the 9 turns into, again, once you seamed it together, you have the 9
Yes.
patch.
Yes.
And then what you do is you cut the 9 patch
Oh,
into 4 squares.
Yeah.
So you just, you quarter it.
Right. That
So
is
see
really
how-
awesome. I
Yeah.
like that. I like that a lot.
So I have 9,
Mm-hmm.
went down from 9
I love your color
to
choices.
4, Okay.
This is all from one collection, one fabric collection, or a combination?
Yes, this was one
Because
fabric
they're
collection.
coordinating so beautifully. Yeah.
So then once you quarter it, and then you piece it together,
Oh.
and this makes the block.
So the disappearing.
And it makes it
Yeah.
disappearing because when you piece the block together, none of the seams are touching. You see that?
Yes. That's pretty awesome.
And that, I think, is fun.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and I like scrappy.
Me too.
I just like scrappy,
I do too.
organic, free type
mhm.
quilting, and this allows me to do that.
Yeah, that collection is
Look at
absolutely beautiful. They've got some sparkle in
Yep.
there.
It's your
Look
rose
at that.
gold.
Yes. Oh, you're supposed to be getting me some of that too.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's my quilting. So I will continue to, piece together blocks like this, and then
Mhm.
that'll make my top.
Wonderful.
Yep.
It's
So
beautiful,
hopefully I'll
Adela.
have some more progress to share with you soon.
Cool.
But yeah, again, that's the disappearing nine patch
Look at
block.
that. Look at that.
Isn't that pretty?
Oh my goodness.
And I'm trying to remember who told me about it, but you can see a video on the Missouri
Star Quilt Company.
Star Quilt
Mhm.
Company. She does a video on the block.
Yeah, if you have any interest in quilting, Missouri Star Quilt Company has some amazing videos. You can even takes you from the very beginning. If you know nothing about quilting, that's an excellent resource to go to.
Yep.
Yeah, and I like the tip for buying the pre-cuts because when you're first learning to quilt, it's just
I'd
sometimes
say
it's a
your
bit
first
overwhelming
Get you
because
some.
it's a lot. You got to
pre-cuts.
do the cuts, and then you got to then you're concerned about making sure you got that 5 inch. Just so it can be a lot. So save yourself.
Yeah, see, I'm off on some of my
It's okay,
seams,
it's
but
all
it's
good.
like you're not gonna see it.
No,
If you're that close to it,
you're too close.
you're too close.
So I also Oh, were you done?
Yes.
I also finished a couple of quilt squares. I talked about the quilting bee I belong to on the last episode. So I got those done and I sent them in the mail, and I'll insert a couple of pictures of those right here. Okay, so what's
Alrighty.
next? Moving right along.
Sewing. Do we have any sewing whips?
I haven't been in the sewing. No,
Okay.
no. I hope to change
I've been
that
looking.
this week.
Yeah, I've been looking.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder, is sewing like a summer, spring?
Not for me. I
No?
got the bug. I have so many things in my mind I want to make.
Fabric though.
Really, haven't bought any more fabric, but I've in my mind a couple of things I want to make. My sister started taking sewing classes
Oh wow.
Mhm.
Where?
right in the neighborhood. I don't know whether you follow Fee's So Crafty
No.
on. I'll share with you her profile. She lives 3 blocks away from here.
And she's a
She
sewing
is
instructor.
incredible. Yes. She is amazing. I want to put her profile right here. You can see all the
wanna learn
things she's
to-
making.
Wow.
And I've been following her for the longest, had no idea she lived right around the corner from
Wow.
me. I thought she lived in another state. So yeah, she took her first sewing class, so she knows how to cut out her patterns, and
She
so I'm
is
really
off
excited
and
for. Maybe
running, isn't she?
it'll be the 3 of us on the
Wow, that
podcast
would
one
be
day.
fun.
Oh my goodness, shenanigans will abound.
Yeah.
That would be a lot of fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
So sewing. I've been talking about the Alabama Channon T-shirt and applying the sample square. This is the T-shirt pattern I'm going to follow is the Fancy Tiger 1 hour top.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
And it's a free pattern. Of course, you have to print out the pieces and piece it
Yeah.
together, but Trisha's going to help me with that. So hopefully next podcast I'll be wearing my tee. That's my plan.
Okay, so then my goal will be to wear my scarf because I still have or either I'll wear my scarf and my T-shirt
Okay.
because I still haven't sewn the patch on there. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So we'll
that's
have
something to
a
look forward to.
Alabama Channon show up.
Mhm.
She's going to show up next podcast.
Oh, I'm drinking some Constant Comment tea with some honey in this cute little. Look at that. This was gifted to me by Arthella.
Yeah.
And you're having.
I'm having a beverage. I'm having a beverage, but this is her favorite.
Yes, it is.
Color, rose gold.
I love it.
Yes. So when I saw these, I was like, oh, for the podcast.
For the podcast. Yep. So I poured her some honey, some mead wine, which is made with honey. Still was a bit too sweet. So then we did some mixing with I never know quite how to say this, but it's German. Liebfromlich. And I think it's very similar to a Riesling. But it's definitely out of Germany.
It's tasty.
She said it was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It says it's fruity, medium fruity wine. I guess I'll have that with dinner. The rest with dinner later. Yeah, so we are staying properly hydrated.
Mm-hmm. We are.
Okay, so what are we getting into acquisitions now? Is it?
Yes,
About
I
that
guess we're going
time.
for acquisitions now. Yeah, go.
So we've been to a few places. We so let me start with goodness gracious. I'll start with the
Frederick? Can you start with
Frederick.
Frederick?
I'll start with the Frederick, and I'm gonna do some repositioning of items. There we go. So we talked about Frederick Fiberfest and my former coworker who is now a bag maker. The name of her company is called the Creatrix. I'm going to put it right down here. And she doesn't have an Etsy shop just yet, but I'm hoping that she will very soon. Right now, she's just doing shows, and she's in a couple of she's in a couple. You will say that she's in a couple of stores also.
Is she?
But look at that! Look at that bag.
You said she's in a couple of stores.
Mm-hmm. And she
What store?
way out Maryland. Like I don't want to say Columbia, but like Odenton, Maryland.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can find out where she's at, and she keeps her show schedule up to date on Instagram. So I'll send you her profile.
So is it like a gift shop or
No, a yarn shop.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. She's in a couple of yarn shops, but what she does is she specializes in vintage fabrics. So she gets these little pieces of vintage fabrics and she pieces them together. She's got the hookup. She's got a hookup from a couple of places.
Look at that.
And even when we were working together, she would bring in these bags with these interesting fabrics. So I bought a couple when we were working together.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think I remember you showed me.
Yeah. So so this is the lining.
And it has a pocket.
And look at this. Look at the pocket. Look what the pocket is made
I
from.
know.
What is that?
It's like chenille or something.
So
It's an upholstery fabric.
mm-hmm.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Isn't that beautiful? So it's got 3 dividers in the pocket, which is really, really nice. And I love it. The handle is a batik. Yep, so that's from the Creatrix. So I said we're going to go quick. Go quick.
Okay, so I didn't go to the Frederick Fiber Festival, but I sent Ching Ching for Trish to pick me up. So here's my bag. Quan. I sent some Quan just to pick me up. Something unusual, and this is what she picked me up. There's another Creatrix bag and an upholstery fabric. I love it.
Isn't it beautiful? I mean, isn't it beautiful?
It is.
Yes.
And my fabric on the inside.
So nice.
My pockets.
You got pockets too.
Yes, I got pockets too. So, are we going on with Frederick?
Yeah, let's go with Frederick.
So, in my my bag, my first wool and vinyl skein, and this is the November Rain colorway, perfectly named.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a shawl, a one skein shawl with this, and then she picked up some mini skeins from 29 Bridges for me as well.
Yeah.
Yay!
And so my other acquisitions from the the Frederick Fiber Fest,
Oh, gee.
was I picked up this.
What?
This is, I'm trying to make
Oh,
too much noise
no.
with this, from Yarn Hero. This is a mill-in grab bag. And so basically she just coordinated some mill-ins to make a grab bag. And there you go. Because that wasn't on your shopping list.
But you know how you love her. I
Look
wonder
at
if she has that on
She might have. She had
on
quite
a
a few.
website.
She had quite. She
I'm
was
gonna
so
message
sweet.
her. She is
I
the
got
sweetest.
to actually talk with her. She
Yes,
was
look
really,
at this
really
one.
I know. So you know what I want to do with this? I just want to make a asymmetric garter stitch shawl.
Do it.
Nothing fancy.
Right.
Maybe with a I-cord border,
Mhm.
just and some tassels at either end, and I'm done. Just knit till it's
An
all
I-cord
gone.
bind on
Yeah.
and some tassels along the way.
Yep. That's what I want.
Tassels.
Yeah. Isn't it beautiful? You should get one. Mill in grab bag. So that's from Yarn Hero.
I love her yarn.
Frederick Fiber Fest was a lot of fun. It was really a lot of fun. I'm glad I didn't listen to you and went. I think my English was
glad
really
you-
bad on that.
I'm glad you were
I'm glad I was
well enough
disobedient.
to go.
Yeah, and I felt pretty okay.
The
I
yarn
felt okay.
fumes.
The yarn
The yarn
fumes carried me
fuse.
through, but I want to tell you, by the time I got in the car, I was like, Ray was like, okay, so do you want to go to the outlet mall? I was like, no. Because there's the new
But you
outlet mall,
promised.
Clarksburg.
Yeah, you said, "Oh, we're going there." I was like, "See ya."
Yeah, but already told him, if you want to go, I'll just go into Starbucks and knit. He was like, no, we'll go. Because he'd been shopping. He went to the mall, and so he was fine. But the fun, Frederick Fiber Fest has blown up, let me tell you.
I am definitely going
Ooh,
next year.
I was amazed how many vendors, just from one end to the other, and the entire outside was completely filled with vendors.
Wow.
As far as the eye could see. Just,
This
it's pretty special.
was an
isn't it?
awesome find.
Yeah.
And might I just say,
Mm-hmm. Yes, you may say.
just for making economics,
Mm-hmm.
this yarn,
Which, by the
is-
way, is a new podcast segment.
yes, will become a new podcast segment.
Making economics.
Making economics.
Mm-hmm.
This yarn is basically, I don't know how it's milled and all that, but very similar in
Construction, and,
color,
processing.
colors as the
Spin cycle.
spin cycle dyed in the wool.
Mm-hmm.
She's wonderful. Her name is escaping me.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. I used this yarn for my throwback cardigan.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Mm-hmm. But
She
and
has
it's
it
not
in
as
yeah,
pricey.
'cause she does have it in DK weight also.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. She has
And
some
it's
DK
not
weight
as
grab
pricey.
bags, worsted weight
She
grab
did
bag,
too?
Yeah.
Yeah. So check her out, Yarn Hero, and she has an Etsy shop.
Cool.
Yep.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very good. What do you have next? That's it for Frederick Fiber Fest.
That's it for Frederick
Mhm.
Fiber Fest.
At least that I'm willing to.
Okay, so let's do my Williamsbeck.
Oh yeah.
Williamsbeck. We visited 2 yarn shops while in Williamsburg.
look at
The first one we visited was Yarn Matters, and the owner, Marina, she hand dyes yarn.
I had no idea.
Yes, look at that. Isn't
That's
that pretty?
beautiful.
And this is called the Seaweed Brain colorway. It's a light worsted DK.
That's
Look at
gorgeous.
that.
That green is
OMG.
amazing. I see why you bought that.
Yes. As soon as I walked in the door, this was the first one I
that's
saw.
gorgeous.
Yep. So, when traveling, I try to, buy things that I, haven't seen before.
Right.
And this is one of them.
Very
So I
nice.
brought you back a sample. Yep, that's fallen on the floor. One moment. One of her mini skeins.
Oh, thank you. That is so pretty. Oh,
Isn't that
it's
pretty?
gonna go in my blankie. Look at that. Oh, thank you, Adela.
You
Oh, look,
are
it's
so
matching.
welcome.
It's matching us. Look at that.
Yes, it is perfect,
So
isn't it?
pretty.
And then the second shop, which was what? Flying
Oh,
Needles.
Flying Needles. Yes.
Their shop owner dyes yarn as well.
Was she there?
She wasn't there.
Okay.
Robin's Promise Yarn
She's very
Company.
nice. Mhm.
So I got this skein from her. That is pretty too.
Very
Look at it.
nice. Very nice.
And it's called Pheasant Crown. I love that.
Very.
That
Look
is
at that
so
green. That's really pretty.
Yes.
I have a color. I have a skein of her DK.
You do?
I can't remember the color, but I also have a sweater quantity of her fingering.
Now, do I know if this one is DK or worsted? I don't know.
Does it
It's
say?
$2.45, so I almost want to think it's
almost wanna say,
DK.
yeah, I think it's
Two
DK.
sparrows. I'll have to look up.
It's an interesting so is two sparrows the base?
That's
or?
the base.
Okay.
It's
So
Pheasant Crown is the colorway.
if I'm not mistaken, she names her colorways either after birds or something having to do with birds. If I'm not mistaken.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to figure this one out.
She
I'm
told
sure
me
we'll be
why
able
she
to.
named
DK.
her company.
I want to
Robin's
say this is
Promise.
DK
I think
though.
it is. I think
But
it
this one from Yarn Matters is worsted.
is. Cool.
Let's see, what else?
Anything else from Williams?
From Williams Beck. I want to say that's it
Okay.
from Williams Beck. I was pretty good, although I
pretty
did
good.
purchase, I did acquire a sweater or project quantity of Malabrigo Rios, which you can get anywhere, but you
Nice.
hardly ever see it like in
You're right.
sweater quantity.
You're right because it's an awesome yarn.
Yeah.
It's an awesome yarn. And you know what color I've been really stalking for Rios? Glitter.
Is that one, is it solid or variegated?
It's slightly variegated.
Okay.
Almost reminds you of this,
Yes.
but a little bit more variegation. Yeah. Yeah, so that's on my wish list.
Oh, Williams Beck.
Mm-hmm.
We,
that's
as
interesting.
knitters, we bring little goodies in exchange with one another, and this is one of the gifts that Cece and Shalette gave each of us. And I don't know if you're familiar with this this line of products, but I see them in the craft stores, Joann's. They're like embellishments. I guess you can embellish cards or make jewelry or all sorts of things with their products. But they had these like little wrist. Well, we're calling it a
Shawl
cuff. It was a cuff.
Uh-huh.
So you know what this is going to become? A shawl cuff for me, and those with a smaller wrist, you can wear it as a bracelet cuff. But look at that.
I was able to try it on as a bracelet cuff.
Yeah, it fits.
I'm very happy to say it fit. I'm not always able to say that.
And they
but
got
things I
these
tried
at
on.
Tuesday
You can-
morning,
That price is
and
amazing.
it was like $2.99.
And this is leather.
Yeah.
This is not polyurethane. This is leather. It smells amazing.
So that was exciting. Even on our way home, we stopped at a Tuesday morning looking for more of them.
I'm gonna have to look
To
for
no
these
avail.
this weekend.
But look at that.
I can always lure Ray to Tuesday morning.
So if you're paying what, $30? How much are those
I think
ones?
the last
They're
one
like
I purchased was
$30
about
or
25
something.
bucks. Yeah. Wow.
So it'd be nice if you could find something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're crafty, not to say that you're not crafty, but if you're adventurous, you could try making one of these out of a belt, an old belt.
An old belt, an old purse.
Yes,
I'm
I think
actually
I'm going to try it.
I'm collecting. I've always been a purse collector. I love a really well made handbag. But I have quite a few I'm just not using anymore. But I've got some ideas going around in my head about things I can do. I've seen earrings. I've seen T-shirts embellished with leather cut out pieces, and just so many things you can do. So that's an excellent find.
Thank you.
Very nice. Very nice.
Okay.
Okay, so let's keep it going. So my Rhinebeck purchases. Save that one for later. The one couple that I'm really, really excited about is this here. So This is my first time purchasing this particular base from Miss Babs. And when I saw it, I knew I had to have it, and I only saw two. And I begged one of the Babs helpers to please help me find another one because I need this in a sweater.
Oh, look at that.
Isn't that beautiful?
Is that the Kira?
This is the Kira.
Kira
Base. It's a heavy fingering.
music box.
The color is a music box, and it's 560 yards per skein, so it's more than enough. So talk about what's the new segment? Making economics. I thought this was a really good buy for a sweater quantity. Because when you're a larger lady, it does get into the you gotta it's a considered purchase for sweater quantities. So I thought that was a really, really good deal and an amazing color. Yeah. So I have no idea which sweater it's going to be, but probably something really simple. Mm-hmm. Yep,
Have you made the boxy?
No, not yet. It's on my list. I have some I have a colorway I think I want to use for my boxy, but I need one more of Queen's Yarn Boutique. So I think I messaged her that she could dye me up one more skein, but waiting to hear back from her on that. So that's one Rhinebeck purchase. I picked up this beautiful skein from Prado Delana Sheep Farm. I knew that Maria of Ninja Chickens was going to be there helping them out in her booth.
Yeah.
So I got to meet Maria. I'll insert a picture of the two of us right here. Lignage. So it's a 2-ply DK, 4 ounces. It's 100% Romney wool. And I was really attracted to this because it was knit up in this beautiful cowl. Just a really simple lace pattern cowl. So like a fun one skein project. Doesn't that feel amazing?
It does.
Yeah. It's really sheepy. Yeah.
Okay, so let me breeze through a couple of acquisitions. I saw these on Instagram. Someone had posted them.
Was that did they come from the UK?
Yes.
Yes.
They're called
Earth
Tribe
Tones
Yarns.
Girl. Was it Denise of Earth
It
Tone
may
Girls?
have been, yes.
Yeah.
And I saw these and I had to have them.
We are so
Look at
joined at the
this.
hip. I so started to buy those.
And they had,
They're beautiful.
so when I went on their website, they had a you could be notified when they come back in stock. So I didn't get them at first try, but they came in and I ordered them. And these are I don't know if they called it dandelions or something, but I also, when I saw them, I thought of one of our knitting sisters, Deb Rucker. They had them with the egret imprinted on them.
She likes egrets?
Well, there's an egret that lives
You're
in
right.
the
In her she has
her little I don't know what you call that body of water that she
home
lives.
faces the inlet.
Yes.
What is the body of water in Virginia? Hampton Roads Inlet, I believe.
Yeah, so there's an egret. I've
been there.
I've seen him.
Yeah. I like the little saying on
So
there.
I got her the ones that had the egret on.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice.
So I got that.
Very nice. I know. Did you give them to her already?
Yeah, I gave them to her at Williamsburg.
Oh, what did she say?
She was like, "Oh, these are so nice," and I was like, "Well, do you see the little egret on it?" She was like, "Oh my god!" So
very nice.
That was fun.
Nice. Very nice.
Let's see what else. Oh, Shalette and I went to a pop up at the Spice Suite in DC. It's a spice store. What do we call that store?
A spice shop.
Yes, a spice shop.
Yeah.
And she travels the world for her spices.
Some amazing
And she
things.
supports makers and creators. So, although her, product, filled the shop, but she also has, other makeups, makers come in and do pop up. So, Shalette had messaged me on Instagram and said, "Do you know her?" And I was like, "I follow her, but I hadn't met her before." Nia of the Crochet Cove popped up in the shop. So we went to see her the other night. And she
Very
was
nice.
wearing a gorgeous droplet
Yes.
capelet
The
by
Byron
Baron.
handmade,
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I got this to make that.
That's
And this
beautiful.
sparkles. See that? Look at
Yeah.
that sparkle.
Oh, good job.
Ooh, sparkle. So I got that there the other night. Another maker was Beads by Woo.
Very nice.
She does beading. So I got these bracelets, and I'm gonna get some more.
Very nice.
And then there was a girl there named Amanda is her name. And she does body butters. Oh my
Ooh.
gosh.
Did you get
And of
body
course
butters?
I got body butter.
Oh.
Well, I ordered body butter. We were teasing her because of course the sample body butter was the one that she didn't have, and that's the one that we all wanted.
Yeah.
So I placed the order. They're all local, so she lives in
Nice.
Hyattsville.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So I was like, oh, just call me. I'll
I
come
think
back
I
and
met
get it.
her at the
She's called Purple Moon
Mhm.
Company.
Yeah.
And they're all
Yeah, I met
on
her.
Beads by Woo, Purple Moon Company. They're all on Instagram. And then I had the best chocolate chip cookies from the dessert diva, Lynette.
Ooh, nice.
Yes, so we
Okay.
had a good time.
Nice.
Good
So was
time.
she a vendor there? Also?
Yes, she was a vendor too. So I got the chocolate chip
Was it a
cookies.
soft one or was it a crispy?
They were kind of in between. They were just so. And then
Perfect.
she had some chocolate, white and milk chocolate
Yes.
drizzled on top. She's from Baltimore. I told her, well, Shalette had said, because I think Shalette got the, did she get the peach cobbler? Yeah, she may have gotten the peach
Like
cobbler.
a whole pie? Like
It
a
was
whole-
in a little
little
jar,
mini,
like a little jar.
like a one serving size.
Yes, oh my.
Man.
She got that. She was like, that was the bomb. And I ate those cookies and I sent her the same message. I was like, those cookies were the bomb. So that was really fun.
Nice.
It was local, they're all local makers, and to just see them and meet them, and it's just so exciting.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And then last but not least, I saw on Instagram where Sandy by the Lakeside was having an update. And it seemed like by the time I saw the post, it was like a few hours had passed.
Yeah.
And when that happens, and you're like, there's nothing going to be there for me. But I was like, I'm going on the website anyway. So I went on the website, and of course, the one thing that I really wanted was there. I hadn't even checked, but her tote bag. And look at the shape of the tote bag.
That's
I
so
have been
cool.
wanting this for a while.
Yeah.
And it's is this a canvas, you think?
I would say a
or-
canvas, or is it just a heavy denim?
Yeah. Maybe a heavy denim.
Yeah.
But anyway, I
But
got
pull it
that.
a little closer because it has an interesting.
It's
print.
got like a herringbone.
Yeah, that's it.
Herringbone
Yeah.
print. So I
Look
got
at you.
that, and then
I'm on the website
on the Instagram post, she had shown this bag.
I love that.
Look at that, and all the lady makers.
I'm hoping
And
they still
I
have-
thought
she
about
still
all of
has
us, me, you, all of us, and how we're knit together by our love of making.
It's perfect.
Yes. So I got that, and Sandy was so nice. She sent me a little special
She's a sweetheart.
goodie
She
bag
really is.
saying that she loves our podcast. So
Thank you, Sandy.
Sandy, thank you. She sent me her enamel pen,
Love it.
and these scissors. Look at these. Look at
I
the
am so
stork.
in love with my rose gold scissors. I'm
Yes.
just like
And the little point protector.
very nice.
Thank you, Sandy.
Awesome.
So that wraps
awesome.
up my acquisitions.
So the bag is gone.
The bag is
It's
gone.
gone. It's called the
I
ladies.
got one.
You
The
got
ladies,
one.
yes. Lady makers.
I think I need one, Sandy.
Oh.
Don't make me resort to
Oh.
writing. Buyer's reel. I should
Oh my
have got
gosh.
it when I saw it. It's
You
so
should have gotten
cute.
it when you saw it.
I
Isn't
love
it
it
cute?
so much.
Oh, so nice.
Is it
Yes.
lined? It's like it feels kind of really squishy.
Let's go inside.
What's inside?
Oh,
Look
look.
at that lining. Oh, now I'm really sad. Oh, see, and the lining matches the tassel. Good job. Good job.
Awesome. Thank you.
Cool. Okay,
So let's see.
I think the only other. Are you done with acquisitions?
No, I'm not done.
Oh boy, carry on.
Because I have something for you.
What?
Mhm.
You just gave me something.
So on the last podcast, we had talked about the the sweater weather scent and how I turned the 3-wick candle bowl in, container into a yarn
Yes.
bowl. So there you go.
Thank you.
So you gotta
I'm
burn the
gonna
candle
cry.
out.
Oh
I
my
hope you like
goodness.
the
I've been
scent.
so weepy this week. Oh my goodness, it's so
Sweater
good.
weather.
It's
And
so
that's a
good.
different, when I saw him,
Yes,
I was like,
so
oh
this
my
is
gosh.
the Fox. Oh my god. And of course I hadn't had a chance to get the Bath and
Yeah,
Body
so
Works.
all of their fall fragrances are in full
This
stock.
smells-
Because I like that twisted peppermint.
The scent?
Yes.
Really?
Oh,
Is it
it's the
pepperminty?
best.
Really?
Yes.
For body or just candle?
The candle.
It
I mean,
does-
I have the body wash and all. I have some of the other, but
Does this come in body also, sweater weather, or is this just for the home scents?
I believe it's just the home scents.
I
I'm
love
not
that.
sure,
I may have to go
Not
tomorrow
100%.
to investigate.
but yes, but check and see if you have any
I
coupons.
love it. Thank you
Sweater
so
weather.
much. Yes, it is.
And I got
Yes, it
one
is.
more thing for us that fell on the
Okay.
floor.
Okay.
If they see
It's the
what
best
all
podcast
this is going
ever.
on.
Oh, it's such a lovely mess on this table. Oh, what's that?
So you know how we make the project bags out of
yes.
what do we make them out of?
Placemats.
Placemats.
Placemats. Mhm.
Well, this and this is the
Is it
Maramika.
Rhinebeck? Nice.
So this is what 20 years of design for all is this collection. So I didn't see the placemats, but they had these napkins, and the napkins are 20 by 20.
Okay,
I said
that's a good
surely we can
size.
make
Definitely.
project bags
Oh, you
out
get 4.
of. So I got 4. So you get 2 and I get 2.
Oh, thank you. You're so good to me.
And they're 4 different prints, so we'll have to decide. Aren't
Oh.
they gorgeous?
Yes.
I want a set. Oh, I have to get a set for non-crafty.
Look at that. I need a set for not. Do they have other colors?
No, I think this is that collection,
Really?
the 20
I'm
years
here
collection.
for it.
Yes.
Yes, I love it.
So you get 2
Oh
and
my
I
God,
get
my
2, and we
sister
have
is
to
going
see
to
what we come up
love
with for a
this.
project bag. You make your bag, I make my bag.
Okay. I
Let's see.
love them
Yes.
all.
So you have to pick 2.
You pick yours and I'll just choose whatever.
That's hard.
I know.
Okay, I do want this one.
You
Get
do want
yours.
that one. I kind of like this.
Take
a
it.
lot. And
Okay.
I think I like this.
Okay, it's
But
yours.
would that work
No,
better?
go. Do it. Okay, there we go.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. So now I got to figure out
Now
what.
we gotta make out.
Well, I
which
think I just
bag
want
we'll
this
make.
to be a huge
Yes, look
sweater
at that.
bag. I know already. I'm going to do a quilted lining. I'm going to do a so I'm going to iron the. Excuse us.
There we go.
Okay, it's going to be great.
Off into land.
Thank you.
Cool.
Awesome. Do we have time for dream knitting?
Yeah, let's dream knit.
Okay, dream knit. Real quick. I am in love with the Espace Tricot Missoni Accomplice sweater.
Oh yeah.
So, I'm going to insert a picture right here. But basically, it's a top-down yoke sweater, and it's oversized dolman sleeves almost, and it's got a chevron print. So your main color and the chevron print is in a contrast color, and this dream is about to become a reality because
Oh my gosh.
I've already caked up my yarn. So I'm going to be used. So the pattern calls for a sport weight, but it calls for I think more like a woolen spun sport weight.
Yeah. The like it in lace,
yes.
rustic fingering or something.
But I think this will work. I'm going to. I think it'll be just fine. This is my
I
first
might
time.
cast that on with you because
Yeah,
I
do
have yarn
that.
for it.
For some reason, I've been wanting a something camel in black. I think that is just so classic.
It is.
So classic. And maybe I'll do me some pants, some Sonia Phillips pants,
Ooh.
but try to do a wider pants leg. And I just purchased some boots from Marshalls. I promise we do more than just shop. But I found a pair of fried boots from Marshalls.
Oh wow.
For a really good
What's
price.
your size? Because you have a size foot.
I wear an
width
8 in the shoe, but for a boot I usually buy 9 because I want to be able to fit my socks in them, and they're beautiful. They're black, just a simple black leather ankle boot. I'll show them to you. Let me wrap up. So I'm just thinking about, or maybe even some camel color pants. So we'll see. So Masonia accomplished that dream is soon to become a reality. Look, I've even got my needle set in here for what I need to change.
You are really ready.
I am ready. And this is hanging out. This is going to hang out in this project bag that was made by this one here. I love this bag.
I know.
Yeah, so
The style of it is kind of like an envelope style.
Yeah, so it's like an envelope style. Let me get it all
look,
closed
it's
up.
really a nice one. It's got my
it's
label and
perfect.
everything on it.
Yep, so envelope style, but you can open it up and
We can make this.
you could.
And I just ordered some more tags.
So there you go. Beautiful,
what it's
beautiful,
gonna
and
be.
it's perfect for the weather, for the
Oh,
fall.
look,
So this is my
yeah.
fall cast on project among all the many other things. So that dream is about to become a reality. Yes.
Okay, dream knitting. I have a lot of things because I have startitis. I have a lot of things on needles. So I think if I
That's really pretty.
realize a dream, it would be this Love Autumn Hat by Monica Anna.
That's really pretty.
And you see the leaves.
Uh-huh.
So I think I'm going to cast that on.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And I think I'll just leave it at that because I
Okay.
have quite a few dreams
Yeah, me too.
already on needles to be realized.
know.
So I
So-
won't cast on anything else.
My only other dream knitting is when I was on vacation in Outer Banks. I went to the yarn shop, a Knitting Addiction, and she's starting to get into weaving really, really heavily. And she had just finished a project of a houndstooth scarf, really wide houndstooth wrap, black and white houndstooth on the loom. I really like to weave this. However, my loom is only 16 inches. And I am definitely in the market for a larger loom, but I want to sell my 16 inch first because it makes no sense for me to have both. I wish I had thought clearly about it before I purchased my 16 inch. But basically, I want to make something black and white. And if I don't weave it, then I am looking for a pattern that is like a woven effect or a houndstooth effect. So if you know of any patterns like that, let me know. This is Matlintosh Merino Light. Onyx is the color, and it's sparkly. And
What's that base called? Isn't that
this one here? I thought
is
it
it
was
Tosh
Merino
Light
Light.
with something plus glitter or
yes,
something?
plus glitter. Is this the hollow glitter?
Oh no, yes, it's glitter.
So this is just the regular. I don't know why that looks gold to me.
So was that
This
one
was
of
a
your
part of the sale.
part of the sale?
This is one of the first things I purchased. One of the first things I purchased.
Yeah, you
On
spilled
the
the beans
sale.
on how many shipments.
And then this here is from Wild Hair
Ooh.
Studio.
Mm-hmm.
And I got this from Shenandoah Fiber Festival. I was actually looking for this. I wanted because I knew I wanted to do the black and white thing. And I knew I wanted them both to be sparkly. And as my niece says, she says sparkly. She pronounces all of the syllables. All natural is the color, and it's got a sparkle to it.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Look at the twist on that.
Yeah.
So that's got to find a pattern for that. And I think that's it for my dream knitting.
Dream knitting, that's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. So, let's...
I forgot. So can we move? What's next? Are we done?
Yeah, the last thing is what's around the corner. But what about that?
I know. So I kind of forgot an acquisition and another just quick thing I wanted to mention. Some new to me podcasters.
Oh, yeah, go
and
for
what
it.
I've been listening to. So this is not quite new because I've been listening to her podcast watching for a few months now. Honeybee Knits podcast, and I cannot think of her first name. You guys, if you watch us, you probably already watched Honeybee Knits. Just a delightful young lady. She also is an indie dyer, so she's on Etsy, and this is one of her skeins, and I think this color is called the Signature Pink. Pretty in pink. She loves pink, and you have to see her, look her up on.
I
She's
am
just
looking
really,
her up
really
right
cute.
now.
She has the cutest, prettiest face, very warm disposition on her podcast.
Did you find
And
her on
so-
Instagram or?
I found her she popped up on my YouTube feed one day. So I was watching her latest podcast, and a lot of the things she talked about, especially towards the end, she shared some personal things and about how she's trying to find some work-life balance and coming to the realization of what things in her life are most important, and having to sometimes you got to make the tough decisions.
Yes, you do.
So she's trying to decide between her yarn dyeing business, which takes up quite a bit of time. She also works a full-time job. But she has other goals in life also. So I'm not going to tell you everything she talked about. I want you to go watch that podcast because I think it's something that we all struggle with. And for me, myself, definitely. You just have to watch it and just to find out that we actually have a lot in common when it comes to some of the losses that we've experienced this year. So we say this all the time. We're joined together by the love of the craft, but when you open yourself up and you're vulnerable and you let other people know what your struggles are, some of the things you're dealing with, you find you're not alone, and that it's very comforting. So yes, definitely check out her podcast. So once I heard her story, I just felt compelled to go to her shop and purchase this beautiful skein of yarn.
That is beautiful.
Isn't it pretty?
Yes. I want one.
I know Mia is
I'm
gonna.
on the
I know
website.
Mia, you're like, and this is her pen. Look how cute her little pen is. Honeybee
It's the
Knits.
cutest.
So Honeybee Knits podcast I've been listening to. And the only other shout out I want to give is to Chevy Rail. Chevy, is that the name of her podcast? Have you ever watched her podcast before?
No.
Chevy Rail, I believe, is the name of the podcast. I'm going to put it down here to make sure I get it correct. But she did a special episode. She and her friends got together and they did this amazingly entertaining episode. It's trying on spiders. It's basically a fashion show. And what was so good about it is that they all tried on the same sweater. They all have different body shapes. Some are taller, some are shorter, some are a little bit wider, some have boobs, some don't. And just so you can see, I always want to knit that sweater, but how's it going to look on me? So I already know I need to knit my boxy a lot longer. Just from watching, I need to knit it longer.
Huh.
Just from watching that. But it was so good the way they did it. So I highly recommend that episode and her podcast as a whole. She's a hoot.
Okay.
She is a hoot.
And when you said that, I'm gonna just jump back to Williamsburg. We all wore our Felix pullovers.
That picture is amazing.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna insert that right
she'll
here.
insert. Picture.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun to see all of our all of us wearing
Yeah,
our
different
Felix.
heights, different sizes, and you all looked amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you all looked amazing. yeah, so that's what I've been listening to and watching the past few weeks. Some of my favorite podcasters,
Cool.
among others.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm a little behind on viewing.
Yeah, I am too. Yeah.
Hopefully, I can get caught up.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, Jack's having knee surgery.
Oh, good.
He's
Okay.
having knee surgery next week, so I'll
Good to
have
get
on my
that.
nurse's
Yeah.
hat
Mm-hmm.
and have hopefully some, downtime
Right.
to get caught up. Alrighty, so what's around the corner?
The Maryland Alpaca and Fleece Festival. Did I get it
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yes. Next weekend,
Next weekend.
November 9th. Yeah.
Yes,
so
Saturday, November
the goal
9th.
is to be there.
Yep, we'll both be there.
I'm even trying to talk my niece into coming.
Oh, cool.
With us.
That
We
would
got to
be
figure
fun.
out driving. I don't have a car,
So do you,
but I'm willing to drive.
you willing to go early?
Yeah.
Or you have the day free?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah,
All
I'm
right, we'll work it out.
Clearing my calendar.
we'll work it out.
Clearing my day for that. And we want to plan a meetup. If any of you are coming, you're local. If you're not local, or if you maybe live close by, you've never gone to a festival, this is a good one
This
to
is
start.
a good first festival.
It's not too overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
It was super fun.
Yeah,
Super cold. It's going to start getting really cold this week too. So
right. You're
bundle
right.
up.
It's cold. Well, it's cooler today. Much cooler today than it was yesterday.
But we're sweater knitters. We're not.
This is our
This
time
is
of
our
year.
time, so we'll be all bundled up
Yeah.
and all the hats
Layered.
and the layered, yeah. So that'll be nice. So we will plan. We're gonna be by the 4-H building
4-H building at what time?
at 12:30.
12:30. Okay.
12:30.
See you at 12:30.
See you at
at the
12:30.
4-H building.
Would love to see you. If you plan on
Maryland.
being there, we can take some pictures together.
Yeah.
See what you're wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
Would be
smile.
fun.
Share some smiles, some
Yeah.
hugs,
Yeah.
some inspiration.
Mhm.
And again, that's the Maryland Alpaca and Fleece Festival. It's
Howard
held at
County
the Howard
Fairgrounds.
Mhm,
Mhm.
Howard County Fairgrounds, and it's held 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, November 9th and 10th.
Mhm.
And Trish and I will be there together on Saturday.
Yeah. We should go to Knot House while we're in the area.
Yes, it's going to be a day. It's going to be a day. Of
goodness,
course,
yeah.
we're going to be too close not to.
I know. It's going to be great.
Yeah, maybe stop and have our favorite dinner up
Oh,
there
at the
too.
Italian place?
Mhm,
Oh, yeah, that was great. That was
Yep,
really good.
So see,
Yeah.
plans are already
Yep.
rounding up.
Yes, they are.
Alrighty,
Yes, they are. Okay, I think we've wrapped it. I think we've done it. It's woo. I tell
it's
you.
a wrap.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. So thank you so much for sticking here with us today. It's been a long one. We've really, really enjoyed it. This was fun. This was fun. I hope you are having as much joy in your making as we are. And just try to spend a little bit of time each day. Can really add up into your making and finishing things. You don't need a whole bunch of time. I never have lots and like hours and hours to just sit and knit. I gotta, get it in when I can.
Yeah.
So just try to make time for it every day. It can make a huge, huge difference. So thank you for watching,
Thank
and we will
you.
see you very, very soon.
Okay,
All right.
love, peace, and happy making.
I love it. Bye-bye.
Bye.